I lived there in London for about 6 or 8 months. Much of the time I spent with Albie and his then wife, Stephanie Kemp. Um, it was a total education for me, a total education.
It was a whole number of things depending on where you were active. Within the exile community, there was the movement itself, the African National Congress. And one was given different assignments within the movement depending on what your capacities were and what you yourself were interested in, obviously. While we were students in the main, our task was to study and also, of course, to mobilize within the universities where we were support for our movement inside the country. Once one had completed one's studies, many other options opened up.
I had an uncle that was a union organizer. My father helped do union organizing, and they were left African Americans. But the details of the struggle in South Africa, I didn't know at all. Now, I had been in Dar es Salaam, and I had had my eyes open. I had read and reread Mandela's Rivonia trial speech. I had met many of the incredible leaders of the ANC who were in Tanzania at that time. But I didn't know the ins and outs of a liberation movement and of doing solidarity work, supporting people who were in a liberation movement. And London was the center. It was a hub of activity. The acting president, old Oliver Tambo, was there, based out of London. People were going backward and forward to Dar es Salaam and to Lusaka. And I was learning the details, getting a nuanced understanding of what the struggle was and what role I was to play in it.
A variety of activities that people were engaged in. And depending on who you were, you moved from one to the other. Most of us, when we were students, were obviously engaged more in the solidarity work than in the other work. But of course, as we left universities, we got involved in these other dimensions of work. Other people stayed in the main with the solidarity work.